What's the difference between the gross and net purchase price when buying a property? How does this distinction impact the buyer agent commission payable on a purchase? We'll demystify this topic in the following video. I'm Nick at Hauseit. Check out our website, hauseit.com, to learn how to save money on commission when buying and selling real estate in New York City, Long Island, and the Hudson Valley. So let's get started. The buyer agent commission in New York City and New York real estate is typically calculated based on the net purchase price of a property. For a traditional non-new development listing, the net purchase price almost always equals the gross purchase price. Therefore, buyer agent commission is almost always calculated by multiplying the commission percentage by the gross purchase price listed in the contract. For example, the buyer agent commission payable on the purchase of a $1.5 million co-op apartment with a 3% buyer broker commission is $1.5 million times 3%, which equals $45,000. For new developments, the net purchase price is almost always less than the gross purchase price. And this is because a developer will typically offer some amount of concessions to a prospective purchaser as part of the new development negotiation process. As a result, calculating the buyer agent commission for a new development is not as simple as multiplying the buyer broker commission percentage by the contract price, also known as the gross purchase price. Instead, the buyer agent commission on a new development is typically calculated by multiplying the buyer agent commission percentage by the purchase price net of developer concessions, also known as the net purchase price. Put another way, the net purchase price is calculated by taking the gross purchase price listed in the contract and deducting the value of all of the incentives and credits the developer has agreed to offer to a prospective purchaser. For example, if the purchase price is $1.5 million and the buyer agent commission is 3%, and let's say the developer is providing concessions of $75,000, the buyer agent commission is calculated by multiplying that 3% by $1.425 million. In other words, the gross sale price of $1.5 minus $75,000 in concessions. In this example, the buyer agent commission based on the net purchase price is $42,750, which is $2,250 less than the buyer agent commission based on the gross purchase price, which again is $1.5 million times 3%, which is equal to $45,000. There are many types of concessions a developer might offer on a new construction purchase. For example, a developer may agree to pay New York City and New York State transfer taxes, sponsor legal fees, or some other incentive, such as covering the mansion tax, offering a free parking spot, storage cage, or bike storage, or providing some sort of alteration credit. The amount of concessions a developer is willing to offer depends on many factors, including market conditions, how successful the building sales effort has been to date, and the degree of urgency the developer feels to move inventory at the time of negotiation with a prospective purchaser. The difference in the buyer agent commission for gross versus net sale price can also be calculated by taking the amount of concessions and multiplying that by the buyer agent commission percentage. Referencing our previous example, the math is $75,000, the value of the concessions, times 3%, which comes out to $2,250, which is the same outcome as in our previous calculation above. In other words, when concessions are being offered by a developer, the buyer agent commission payable is reduced by the dollar amount of the concessions multiplied by the applicable buyer agent commission percentage. Whether the commission on a new development is based on gross or net sale price is outlined in the new development co-brokerage agreement. This agreement also specifies the buyer agent commission percentage being offered by the developer. The most common buyer agent commission percentage for new developments here in New York City is 3%. Each new development has its own co-brokerage agreement, which a buyer's agent must sign as part of the registration process for a prospective purchaser. Under a standard new development co-brokerage agreement, net purchase price shall typically mean the purchase price set forth in the applicable purchase agreement, less any discounts and rebates of common charges or real estate taxes, and the payment or crediting of any fees, costs, or taxes, including transfer taxes and the New York State mansion tax and/or other closing costs generally considered the responsibility of purchaser pursuant to the plan by owner, its principals, or lenders. Additionally, net purchase price shall not include any additional or extra payments made with respect to construction or other work in the unit, upgraded or additional appliances, decorations, furnishings, or other improvements within the unit, architectural or design fees or charges or similar fees, or any payments in respect of any superintendent unit at the property. Under the terms of this new development co-brokerage agreement, the following items are deducted from the contract price to compute the net purchase price and the associated buyer-agent commission amount. Common charges or real estate taxes. For example, a developer may agree to credit the purchaser, say 1 or 2 years of monthly common charges, monthly taxes, or both. Sponsor attorney fees. Purchasers are customarily responsible for this in the case of new developments, but sponsors often agree to cover it. Working capital contribution. Most new development condos require purchasers to contribute, say 1 or 2 months of monthly common charges towards the building's reserve fund. New York City and New York State transfer taxes. Combined transfer taxes are between 1.4% and 2.075% of the purchase price. Mansion tax. The New York City mansion tax ranges from 1% up to 3.9% and applies to purchases of $1 million or more. Any other fees, costs, or taxes paid by the seller would also be deducted. If a purchaser agrees to pay the residential manager unit contribution, as is customary for new developments, but still negotiable, this amount is not added when computing the net purchase price. In other words, a buyer's agent does not earn commission on the amount of the super apartment contribution paid by the purchaser. Conversely, if the sponsor agrees to cover the residential manager unit contribution, this is deducted from the purchase price when computing the net purchase price. So there you have it. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. We greatly appreciate it. I'm Nick at Hauseit, and we'll see you on the next video.